Well, thank you so much for joining us. We are now speaking to the governor for Nakuru County, that is Lee Kinyanjui, and he'll be touching on a number of issues that have been happening around devolution in the country, with also the city status of the county. Thank you, sir, for speaking to us on KTN News. Let's just begin by the ongoing stalemate between Senate and the National Assembly around the division of revenue bill. Where does this leave counties now that there's this tussle?
Thank you. I think first is to say that as counties, we find the current situation most unfortunate. There are bigger devolution matters that require national attention. We have health issues that we should be addressing. We have productivity and Big Four agenda, noting that all the Big Four are actually supposed to be implemented by the counties. But now we find a situation where counties, instead of focusing on their core service delivery, have now to be in revenue fights, going all the way up to the Supreme Court. I think this should never have happened. It's also good to note that not too long ago, the President during Madaraka Day instructed counties to pay all pending bills. Now, what this situation is doing is actually further escalating the issue of pending bills, because when counties don't get what is due to them, they have already incurred or committed on some of the ongoing and rollover projects. That just puts us in a worse situation. But I think as counties, we are committed to ensuring that revenues that are due to the counties actually get to the counties. And we have been finding that if you look at the narrative from our colleagues in Treasury, the economy is doing very well. It's actually growing at 6%. But when it comes to sharing the same revenue that is coming from that growing economy, there are challenges. So I think what we say to attract investors and for purposes of the media must also be to the medicine, to the markets, to the early childhood and technical institutions. Those are very key functions that the counties continue to do. So I think ours is to ask for sobriety and for Treasury to give what is due to the counties.
And of course, Governor, looking at this scenario right now, how does it impact on counties, especially when it comes to meeting your day-to-day operations, when you look at salaries, when you look at projects, and of course the overall delay in terms of disbursement?
I think the first principle when we introduced devolution was that the national government would play a facilitating role. One, give the due amounts to the counties, and then also give on time. So when you have these sort of conflicts now escalating to July, then August, and you never know when they will be resolved, one of the things we'll have is that you'll have a near shutdown. Maybe counties won't be able to pay. Beyond that, we can also not now commit, meaning now we'll also have absorption problems, because if you have not passed your budgets, because you don't know how much you're budgeting for, then eventually by the time you finish, you do the BQs and advertise, maybe the first procurements will be happening around October. Then we'll be accused of spending too little, absorption issues. Yeah. So I think we must put it right that for devolution to work, we need to walk the talk. We need to support devolution and to appreciate that the money that is given to the counties goes towards supporting Kenyans. The people in the counties are not foreigners. The counties are not for other countries. They belong to Kenya. And we believe that devolution is probably one of the best things that has happened to Kenya. And I think it needs to be nurtured. And beyond the talk, we want to see the action.
Speaking about the action, Governor, of course, the Council of Governors has been very vocal on this issue, as well as the Deputy President. And the President Kenyatta has not been extremely categorical on how this issue should be handled. Perhaps, do you think, as a governor, as a sitting governor, what would you be calling on the president in terms of handling this issue and giving it direction?
Revenue sharing is a political decision. It's not really about Senate, it's not about Parliament, it's a political decision. And being a political decision, it would call upon the highest office in the land to take charge and summon all the offices. Because when we see that Senate going to the Supreme Court, or the Council of Governors going to the Supreme Court, then there's certainly a bit of a problem there. Revenue sharing is a political decision, and that position should be held by the highest political office in the land.
Well, we've been speaking there to the governor of Nakuru County, that is Lee Kinyanjui, just of course giving his participation around this particular issue of the revenue bill, which has hit a stalemate and could really have a big impact on counties. Well, that's all we have from you from this side.